You didn't do anything wrong. Someone bumped into you on the street, and somehow, you're the one who said sorry. Think about that for a second. This isn't politeness. This isn't good manners your mother taught you. This is programming. Somewhere along the way, your brain learned a dangerous little equation, that keeping the peace matters more than being right. And now, I'm sorry isn't an apology anymore. It's a reflex, a tiny automatic act of self-erasure that you perform, maybe 10, 15, 20 times a day, for things that were never, ever your fault. A slow waiter, a coworker's mistake, someone else's bad mood filling up the room. So what is this actually costing you? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you are going to hear yourself say sorry completely differently. And honestly, you're never going to say it the same way again. Today, we're going inside the psychology of chronic over-apologizing, the invisible habit that quietly shapes how the entire world treats you. We're going to unpack exactly where this conditioning comes from, why it has almost nothing to do with manners, and how to finally tell the difference between genuine empathy and something far less flattering, fear. And by the end, I'm going to hand you a real, practical framework to interrupt this pattern, starting with the very next sentence you almost apologize for. Let's get into it. Here's the first uncomfortable truth. When you apologize for something that isn't your fault, you are not actually communicating with the other person. You are managing your own nervous system. Psychologists call this a conditioned threat response. Somewhere in your history, often early, often in childhood, conflict became dangerous to you. Not physically, necessarily, but emotionally. Maybe it meant a parent's cold silence. Maybe it meant walking on eggshells around someone unpredictable. Maybe, in your house, the person who apologized first was simply the one who made the discomfort stop. Picture a child at a dinner table. Tension between two adults. Nobody's speaking. And that child, without even understanding why, quietly says sorry, just to break the silence. That's not manners. That's survival. So your brain did what brains are built to do. It found the fastest exit out of discomfort, and it filed it away, permanently, as a strategy. Sorry stopped being a moral statement. It became an emotional fire extinguisher. You're not sorry. You're safe. That's the real translation. The apology was never really about admitting fault. It was about ending tension as quickly as humanly possible, even if the cost was your own truth. Now here's where it gets tricky, because on the surface, over-apologizing looks like a virtue. It looks like humility. It even looks, to most people, like emotional intelligence. But real empathy and chronic apologizing are built from completely different emotional material. Genuine empathy says, I see that you're hurting, and I care. It's outward-facing. It's calm. It doesn't require you to shrink. Fear-based apologizing says something very different underneath. It says, please don't be upset with me. Please don't withdraw. Please don't think badly of me. It isn't about the other person at all. It's about protecting your own sense of safety inside the relationship. Here's a quick test, and you can run this in your own head right now. Ask yourself, after you apologize, do you feel connection? Or do you feel relief? Connection means you genuinely repaired something. Relief means you just successfully avoided something. And if you're honest with yourself, for most of your reflexive apologies, it's relief. Every single time. Now, this next part, nobody tells you this. Over-apologizing doesn't just cost you internally. It actively trains the people around you. Every time you apologize for something that wasn't your fault, you are quietly teaching the other person a rule. Your comfort matters less than mine. Most people won't even register this consciously, but their behavior will start reflecting it anyway. They'll interrupt you more. They'll take credit more easily. They'll push back less on unfair treatment towards you, because you've shown them, again and again, that you'll absorb it without resistance. Psychologists call this dynamic learned deference. And the unsettling part is, it compounds. The more you apologize, the more chances people get to test how far that deference actually extends. Not always out of malice. Just because human beings, consciously or not, calibrate their behavior to the boundaries we show them. Let that sink in for a second. You are not being punished for having boundaries. You are being tested for not having any. And here's the twist nobody expects. The people who respect you most are often the ones quietly waiting for you to stop apologizing. Because confidence, even in small doses, is magnetic. Groveling never is. So you might be sitting there thinking, okay, I understand this now. So why can't I just stop? Because the urge to apologize doesn't come from the logical part of your brain. It comes from the amygdala, the exact same region responsible for your fight, flight, or freeze response. When you sense even the faintest possibility of disapproval, your amygdala fires before your prefrontal cortex, the rational, decision-making part of your brain, even gets a vote. The apology often leaves your mouth before you've consciously chosen to say it. This is exactly why willpower alone rarely fixes this. You're not fighting a bad habit. You are fighting a nervous system reflex, built brick by brick, purely to keep you emotionally safe. Which means the fix isn't just be more confident. That advice is empty. The real fix has to work at the level where this habit actually lives. So here's the framework. And it's simpler than you'd expect, but it requires repetition, not intensity. Step 1. The pause. Before any apology leaves your mouth, insert a single beat of silence. That's it. Just one beat. That tiny pause is enough to let your prefrontal cortex catch up to your amygdala, and it interrupts the automatic reflex just long enough to give you an actual choice. Step 2. The swap. Instead of sorry, try language that acknowledges the moment without surrendering your position. Instead of sorry I'm late, try thank you for waiting. Instead of sorry for asking, try quick question. You are not being cold. You are simply removing the built-in self-blame from statements that never needed it in the first place. Step 3. And this is the hardest one. The sit. After you say something without the reflexive apology, you're going to feel an overwhelming urge to fill the silence, to soften it, to backpedal. Don't. Let that discomfort exist for a few seconds. This, right here, is where the actual rewiring happens. Your nervous system learning, through direct, lived evidence, that unresolved tension does not equal danger. Do this consistently, and something remarkable starts to happen. It's not that you stop caring about people. It's that your care stops requiring your own erasure to prove itself. So here's the final thought I want to leave you with. An apology should be a moral statement, reserved only for the moments you actually owe one. The second you start handing it out for free, for things that were never yours to own, you're not being kind. You are negotiating for safety, with currency you never needed to spend. Stop apologizing for taking up space. You were invited. So here's what I want you to do. The next time sorry almost slips out for something that wasn't your fault, pause. Just for 1 second. And tell me in the comments what you said instead. I genuinely want to know. And if this gave you even one new way of seeing yourself, subscribe, because we go deep into the psychology behind the behaviors quietly running your life every single week. If you know someone who apologizes far too often for far too little, send them this video. It might just be the permission they've been waiting for.